There's a lot of 3D printing news, and the big one is Tim Hoffman needs our help. I'm going to smash all these stories together and just gloss over them, because I can tell by the analytics this isn't really a topic you guys find interesting. I'm just covering it because I think it's important. Anyway, before we get into that, quick word from our sponsor, and that's GotYour6app.com. What this is it's a way that you can have the perks of Life 360 without sending your money to California so they can do things like this. Or not having you being tracked 24/7. This is for an emergency. You can have your little group of people, boom, hit the rally point, everybody knows where you are. Car broke down, boom, hit the rally point. Kids out, things get a little bit hairy at night, hit the rally point. Trusted individuals will come to your aid. Show them some love because they showed me some love, and one hand washes the other. So let's get into the stories. All right, first one is Tim Hoffman. That's a big one. So he's been fighting against rare breed. Very controversial topic. The point of it is he is big on open source. So he never filed a patent or anything like that. Now, again, I wasn't there for this, but the lore is he put out something called the super safety, right? Just put it out on the open market, open source. Anybody can make one that they wanted. They didn't even have to buy it from him. Well, somebody stumbled across this idea and was like, hey, this doesn't have a patent on it. Boom, money-making opportunity. So they filed a patent on it and then just said, oh, Tim stole our design and pre-released it ahead of us filing the patent. So then Rare Breed Triggers bought this sketchy patent, and they're suing Tim Hoffman trying to shut it down so they have a monopoly on the whole force reset triggers. And they've been doing it very successfully. Let's face it, unless you're prepared for a legal battle, any sort of force reset triggers, they're going to sue you. Like right now, they could sue me against, I don't know, like, I'm just making stuff up here, hate speech or something like that, right? And I would automatically just cave to basically what they want because I don't have the financial backing, I don't have the lawyers or anything to be able to defend myself. And that's typically what we're seeing on all these different triggers is they're just caving because what can you do? I mean, I could go represent myself. Yeah, I'll try, but I'm going to lose because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. The AI will help me as far as it can go, but an actual lawyer will tear it apart. So, Tim Hoffman lost a preliminary injunction. Now, he had a couple of different options at this point. One would be just cave, like everybody else is, and then take whatever Rare Breed's offering them and just walk away. Make a little bit of money, everything's cool. Well, he's choosing to fight. The problem is the preliminary injunction stops him from selling the super safeties, which stops his finances incoming, which honestly cuts him off at the knees and makes it so it's almost impossible for him to fight. So, there's a couple of different ways you can support him if you want to help him win against Rare Breed Triggers, and he needs to win against Rare Breed Triggers. We can't let them just gobble up the entire market and make sure there's no competitive options. Otherwise, they could make their triggers $10,000 tomorrow. And I think that's kind of what the government was hoping on. And then make it unattainable for 90% of the audience. So, one is his GoFundMe. That's right here. That's an easy, just click, boom, send money. Hands are washed. You did your part. The other one is you can shop at his store. And that's where he'd like people to go. And I'm the same way. That's why I have my merch store, because I'd rather just have you guys shop there and get something in return instead of just giving me money. I can't post his links or anything because this is YouTube. Just go to like his X account or something like that. Plenty of links to his merch store where you can buy cool Second Amendment stuff. So moving right along, the next one is the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, or I think that was a district court. Anyways, the Third Circuit Court ruled that CAD files are not protected by free speech. This all comes in the onslaught against 3D printing. We've seen it across the country, California, New York. This is a New Jersey case. Washington, Virginia. The whole point is to attack these. Well, now a federal court just ruled that CAD files are not protected by free speech. Will this ultimately get fixed in the Supreme Court? Yeah, maybe like 10 years from now. But until we hit that point, they'll have done enough damage to where it truly matters. So you need to be paying attention to stuff like that. And they ruled that CAD files are not protected speech with prejudice, which means the case is over with. So that's a pretty big deal. Like, I won't get into the meat and potatoes of it, but they compare it to assault on a person. They're like, well, if I want to tell somebody that I want to kick them in the shin by kicking them in the shin, that's not protected by free speech. And that's a night and day difference. We're talking about files that actually contain information versus physical assault. They did the same thing with the auto key card, right? They're comparing, I can't believe I just said that. I'll have to beep that up, but we'll say CP. They're saying because a person didn't assault the child, but having the photos is illegal, is the same as the auto key card. Yeah, they don't make a machine gun, but having the information is illegal. It's retarded. So that's a huge attack on the First Amendment. Pay attention to that. Now here's a little bit of good news for it. Rare Breed lost against the partisan triggers. So that's one chip against their patent design. Remember, their patent is not the original force reset patent. That's basically another stolen patent because the partisan triggers predates that one. So remember, this is all just this whole shell game, like what cup has a shell in it? And they're just moving it around. Is Rare Breed's patent fraudulent? Well, we'll have to wait for the courts to decide. I know my opinion on it because I know that there were patents for a force reset trigger long before their patent existed. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But we're looking good here because should the partisan triggers take down the Rare Breed 223 patent because their patent predates it, yeah, that opens up the market for other competitive options with force reset triggers, which will drive the quality up and drive the price down, which is what you want to see in a free market. Now, will that help out Hoffman Tactical should they lose there? No, because they're going against Hoffman Tactical against the Twin Bros patent. Again, apparently there's a whole bunch of slimy stuff involved with that too, so that may be discredited and taken apart in the future. As of right now, it's not looking that way. The judge ruled in favor of Rare Breed triggers. So, even though they're winning here, doesn't mean they're going to lose here. Or I should say, even though we're winning here, doesn't mean we're going to win here. These are two unrelated cases, two other slimy patent involvements. We'll have to see how that all plays out. What can you do? Honestly, just sharing the video, talking about it, keeping it relevant. Because, yeah, it doesn't seem like this topic and the topic we're interested in, the Second Amendment, go together, but there is a lot of overlap. What happens in the 3D printed world happens with us on the PMF level. Now, most of us, and like I understand, I'm not like lecturing you guys like, hey, you need to pay attention to this topic because it's super important. I mean, it is, but like I get your mindset because I'm the same way there. I don't care how the product gets to me as long as the product is still able to get to me. This is stuff the manufacturers have to hash out. This doesn't have to deal with me. It does. It really does. I'm not going to explain like the nuts and bolts of it, but just understand that it does. It doesn't seem like it because you're just a consumer. You're not a manufacturer, but it all plays into it on what your product you're actually able to buy in the end. Yeah, you could force to just buy a Rare Breed trigger. No other companies on the market, or supporting like Tim Hoffman and that. There will be competitive options, which will drive the prices down, again, drive the quality up, which affects you. So what can you do? Well, there's not a whole lot other than, just sharing videos, talking about the topics, supporting Tim Hoffman, doing our best to try to make sure he doesn't lose. Looking at the amount of support he's already got so far, it's clear what side of the community he stands on. Other than that, we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. I did get some new merchandise at the store. Boom! This one was actually designed by an inmate who I paid in ramen noodles. I changed his original design. Here's what the original design looked like because it just didn't work on a t-shirt. But this is the end result. Looks freaking awesome. Check it out. Merch store is how I support this channel because I'm permanently demonetized from YouTube, so that'd be pretty awesome if you guys could go there and buy some stuff. Anyway, if you'd like to help support the channel and you don't want to shop there, the next best way to do that is shopping at or clicking on my affiliate links. Just by clicking on those Amazon links, even if you don't buy what they're for, just clicking on them and doing the shopping you were already going to do anyway. That'll kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.